Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vanessa Taylor, and I'll be doing my informative speech on domestic violence and abuse. What is domestic violence? Domestic violence is violent or aggression behavior within the home, typically involving a violent spouse or intimate partner. Domestic violence can be put into three categories: emotional, verbal, physical, or sexual abuse. Emotional abuse is emotional verbal abuse is defined as any behavior that threatens, intimidates, and undermines the victim's self-worth. Emotional verbal abuse such as yelling, name calling, blaming, and shaming. Intimidation, isolation, and controlling falls under emotional abuse. Physical abuse is defined as using physical force against someone that injures or endangers that person. Sexual abuse is defined as when you are forced to participate in unwanted, unsafe, or degrading sexual activity, even by a spouse or intimate partner with whom you also have consensual sex. Abusers have a variety of tactics to manipulate you. For instance, intimidation, dominance, humiliation, isolation, threats, denial, and blame. Abusers are able to control their behavior. For instance, abusers pick and choose whom to abuse. Abusers carefully choose where and when to abuse. Abusers are able to stop their abusive behavior when it benefits them. Abusers usually direct their blows where they won't be seen. Domestic abuse falls into a common pattern or cycle, such as abuse, guilt, excuses, normal behavior, fantasy, planning, and setup. General warning signs of domestic violence. People who are being abused may seem afraid or anxious to please their partner, go along with what their partner say or does, check in often with their partner, or report where they are and what they are doing, receive frequent harassing calls from their partner, talk about their partner's temper, jealousy, and possessiveness. According to domestic violence statistics and facts, women ages 18 to 34 are at greatest risk of becoming victims of domestic violence. More than 4 million women experience physical assault and rape by their partner. In 2 out of 3 female homicide cases, females are killed by a family member or intimate partner. Warning signs of physical violence. People who are being physically abused may have frequent injuries with the excuse of accidents, frequently miss work, social occasions without an explanation, dress in clothing designed to hide their bruises or scars. Warning signs of isolation. People who are being isolated by their abuser may be restricted from seeing family and friends, barely go out into public without their partner, have limited access to money, credit cards, or the car. The psychological warning signs of abuse. People who are being abused may have very low self-esteem, even at one point when they were very confident, show major personality changes, be depressed, anxious, or suicidal. Did you know that domestic violence victims face high rates of depression, sleep disturbances, anxiety, flashbacks, and other emotional distress? According to domestic violence statistics and facts, domestic violence costs more than $37 billion a year in law enforcement involvement, legal work, medical and mental health treatment, and loss of productivity at companies. As you can see, domestic violence can be characterized into three categories: emotional, verbal, physical, and sexual abuse. Domestic violence and abuse can happen to anyone, yet the problem is often overlooked, excused, or denied. No one should live in fear of the one they love. Noticing and acknowledging the signs of an abusive relationship is the first step to ending it.